Hello, Matthew Hudson, and on video number 3 on the 9th of July for the EK experiment. So this video is to give you an overview of what the process 4 process is. A brief demonstration of what you'll be doing when you're running this process, and this should give you enough information to be able to go back to this video and make sure that when you're running it you can be comfortable knowing that you're running it in the correct manner. One thing here, so this isn't an iterative process, it's an emergent process. So you will be running 6 rounds of what I will present here, and the first round in process 4 consists of 13 steps. Each of those 13 steps, as we saw in the second video, will have an answer. And so after each round there will be 13 bits of paper which will be written and will have been placed in space around you, on the walls, on the ceilings, wherever you have chosen to place these things. You will, and you will be doing that 6 times. So at the end you will have a multitude of various papers around you. And it is through all of these bits of paper, it's through all of these contexts and through all of these areas that we see the emergence occurring. So I'll take us through. We've got our wall behind us here where I can start to place some of these bits of paper, and hopefully you'll get to see all of the aspects that we see when we're running process 4. I may need to get some other bits of some other colours so you can see the colours which are up there. Hopefully they all stick to the wall. Okay, so first question in the process 4 is, and where are you now? It's a question you can, where your interview with myself or the just sending through on the Google form, you will have already answered. However, take the essence of that and also take the moment that you are currently in. Things may have changed. The one good thing about moments of now is they're all different and they're always now. They're always not where they were, whether it was a week ago or 3 years ago. This one is a new moment of now. So write the answer to your question and place it where it belongs in space. Your next question, which is in the process, is, and where have you been? This question relates to your history, somewhere or something that has existed before this moment. It could be locational, it could be your state that you were in, it could be a particular emotion where you were. Whatever comes up for you is the answer to the question. There are no right or wrong answers in any of the clean facilitation. So get a sense of where that past is, what that past is, what is there when you connect with it. On this paper here, I will just represent this as past number 1. And this is placed in relationship to the now. This past for me actually sits up here. And I get to come to the third question in process 4, and that is compare where you've been to where you are now. And that third activity, which we saw in the second video, which is move, and that's where you get to move around your space. Find what is here. What is here? Move between those 2 spaces, move away from it and observe it from a different direction. Get a different viewpoint on what is happening here and get a sense of what is different and what is similar between these spaces. And once you have got a sense of what that comparison is, write those comparisons down. And again, as standard, we write, we place. So this compare actually sits in between those 2. That's the first 3 questions. We now move to the 4th question. And where might you be? This could present either a future position, but it might also offer an alternative moment of now. One a now which didn't exist or which maybe should have existed. Whatever comes up for you in this moment is what comes up. For myself, when I ask that question now, that is actually a future place. So I will write down the answer to that future and where I might be, and I will reference that here as future 1. And I place that where it belongs. And that belongs right up here. And again, we place, we write, we place, and we move. So I'm now going to have to do the 5th question here, and that is compare where I might be to where I am now. And to do this, I have to move, I have to step, maybe come over and connect with this future. What's happening here? What am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I feeling in this moment? And how does that relate to this moment of now? What's the same? What's different between these spaces? I write the answers to that. My comparison. I get and I place. If I make a note of this, this is my first compare. This is my second compare. We then come round to the next question, and this is where we move back to where else have you been? And so I'm going to find a second past, somewhere else. The else in this question kind of infers that, yes, you have been here, but where else? Is there another one that is not this one? And so I will get a second past. And I will place that where it belongs. And I will compare that past to where I am now. And I will get a new future. And where else might I be? So this is future number 2. And that belongs over here. And I compare where I might be to where I am now. So I make another compare. For the experiment which we're running here, what you will be writing down and sending back to myself are the now references and each of the compares which you make. The actual pasts and potential futures which you write down do not need to be referenced and sent through. Unless you feel that is appropriate and needs to be and offers more insight into your experience and what you're learning. So we now move to the third past. So we have 2 pasts at the moment, we have 2 futures, and we are still working with the same moment of now. So we get past number 3. And past number 3 belongs down here at the moment. And I compare past 3 to where I am now. And that is the 5th compare. And I now, after I've made that comparison, I move to the last few steps of what we're doing in this first round, and that is in where else might I be? And that is my 3rd future. And that belongs, it lands over there, and with it goes the final question of this round, and that is compare where I might be to where I am now. And that is the 6th compare. So at the end of one whole round of process 4, you will have, at a minimum, a setup around you configured, not looking like this. However, it could be spread around you, but you will have all of these bits of paper represented. And these, the pinks and this now, are what you will be referencing back to myself. Now I've done that, I ask myself again, and where am I now? So knowing all of this and the understanding which I've got from this, where has this brought me? What do I know now? So where am I now? Well, I've come to a different space. I'm considering things in a different perspective. I'm seeing that there's maybe some comparisons which I wasn't fully aware of, but there's actually, this is beginning to take some form which I wasn't aware of beforehand. So I take my next moment of now and I place that where it belongs. Well, actually, so that one feels like it actually belongs way over here. It's moved up and out of here and it's a different space. And what I'm going to do in round 2 is I'm going to do exactly the same as what I've done here, and that is I will ask, and where have I been? So I will get another past. So what is that past? So there's another past there. And where does that belong? Well, that's actually connected to that now. It's far closer together, these ones. And I'll make a comparison. And so the process continues. And you will get from round 1, we'll now move to the now of round 2. We'll then move to the now of round 3 and the now of round 4. And so what will happen is, as you expand out here, you will get a collection of, there will be 18 different pasts represented. There will be 18 different futures represented. There will be 7 moments of now fully represented around the space around you. That, and once you've got the 7th now, you can then go and answer the final 3 questions, which are, what is the difference, or what do you know now about all of this? What is the difference between where you are now and where you started? So this would be where you started, and with the now number 7 will be where you finish up the process. So what is the difference between those moments? And knowing that difference, what difference does that make? So that's a full process of process 4. It can take anything from 30 minutes all the way up to perhaps even up to 2 hours, depending on how deep you go and how you connect to each of these moments. Thank you very much. It's appreciated your time and your energy that you're putting into this. Any questions, please come back to me, send them on the Facebook group or through the email matthew@ecology.co.uk. Please read the document that stipulates, that goes through this whole process as a written form. There's some diagrams in there, and you now have this video and the backup materials to go with this. So fantastic, enjoy the journey, and I will see you in perhaps on the next one, which will look at an analysis of what is happening in process 4, and I will also see you at the end of this experiment. Thank you so much, and I wish you a good day.